Hi, I'm Melissa Mazanek, and I'm co-director of Music in Motion. And this is my partner, Michael Thomas. He's actually a silent partner. Well, he's not really a silent partner. He's active in the decision making for the company, but he is usually known as the one who is silent. Like if you ask him a question, he'll probably tell you to come to me for the answer. Unless it's a technical question about photography, which I really don't know anything about. But anyway, I know enough. But I'm not a photographer. However, if he is your MC at your wedding, you're going to hear him talk, and he's going to be really excellent at it. He's a fantastic MC. I'm a better DJ. Just kidding. No. We're both good. Okay. So anyway, since this is our first video blog ever for this company, I would like to go over the history of our company. One, because it's interesting, I think, and two, because it'll clear up some confusion about how our business works. You may also know us, or other people may know us as Creative Cardio. That is our company. It's because we did start in 2010 as a company that performed and did Zumba classes and Zumba events. So some people actually even still call us Zumba. I don't know if they think that we are Zumba. Some people don't understand we are not Zumba. We do Zumba. We've done it for many, many years. And a lot of people do actually call our business your Zumba business. That's mainly the people in our good friend circle, family, and the original clients who were the Zumba clients. It's funny because no matter where we go or what we do, those people will continue to say, when you go do Zumba, we DJ, we do all kinds of things, which I'm about to go over. When we're doing someone's wedding, they might even say, oh, you're going to do Zumba this weekend at someone's wedding? No. We're DJing, we're not doing Zumba unless you ask us to do it. So it is funny because that's pretty much what they say. Okay, so our LLC is still under the name of Creative Cardio, and we're kind of attached to that too because it was our baby when it was first born. We now go by Music in Motion, and see, I told you he was silent. Okay, so in 2010 we started our business, and we went over to the Brick PAL and asked if we could do Zumba classes, and they said yes, and we partnered up with them, and we got a great following and a large following very quickly. We purchased all of the necessary equipment that you would use if you were to become a DJ. So one day I was like, well, Michael, don't you think we could become a DJ? Because not only do we have the equipment, but we also had the talent for it, and we were mixing music and doing all kinds of DJ things and entertaining and dancing, which is what an MC does. So we started that 6 months after. So you would think that, people would think we're DJs, but for some reason they just like the name Zumba. So we were DJs, and we started to ask all the Zumba people immediately, who wants a party? Well, we'll do it for you. Wow, you'll do a party? That's so awesome. Oh, great. So, yeah, the first parties we did do a lot of Zumba there, and we did do them at weddings. Now sometimes people from Zumba will say, oh, you want to do my wedding or my party? And sometimes we'll, depending on if it's their wedding or their daughter's wedding or whatever, we'll do, the usual cha-cha slides and Cupid shuffles and all that. Sometimes we'll go into like Uptown Funk, one of our popular Zumba routines, which can also cross over into your wedding if you wanted to do that type of, of interactive dance. So that's the beginning. And then after we became Creative Cardio and DJ Services, we started to dream about having our own fitness studio and dance studio, and Michael came up with the name in his mind, called it Music in Motion, and he made the logo and he tattooed it on his leg. He did by himself, like he actually did the tattooing because he can do tattoos. He's an artist. So he did that, and after Sandy, when everything went crazy, we ended up having some good luck and taking over a studio that was meant for dance and fitness, and we named it the Music in Motion Fitness and Dance Studio. We did Zumba classes, of course. We did Pilates. We did all kinds of fitness classes. And we also added children's Zumba and children's hip hop and jazz and cheer with dance and musical theater. We ended up starting to do plays and all kinds of crazy things, which I love to do. I've been doing them since I was a little kid, as a director. And of course, sometimes I have to act in it too. In the meantime, simultaneously, we were building up our DJ, and Michael decided one day he wanted to be a photographer. So he trained himself, and since he is an artist, it was pretty easy for him, right? And he's very, right? It was pretty easy. You could say something. He's pretty, no, not pretty, but he's very, very, very good with technology and building things. So he was able to learn the technological part of it all quickly. And also, in addition to that, he wanted to have a photo booth. So he actually bought a photo booth, and we started to learn it and train on it, and then he decided that he could make it better, which he did, and he started making his own, which is pretty cool. So we have this. So now, follow along. We have Zumba classes, dance classes going on over at the studio, and then we have the DJ and photography and photo booths going on also. So at some point, we're like, well, wait a minute. This is getting too confusing for the client to understand online and when we market, so we just made 2 different websites. One of them was Creative Cardio, and one of them was Creative Events. So that's what we named that project. It's not a separate company, but a project that now Music in Motion does. So we have Creative Events, where you can have DJ, photo booth, photography, but also, since we're used to doing our own props and scenery, and we're artists, and our family is very crafty and all that, so since we're a family-owned business, and we really are, it's just family and close friends that we even allow into the business. If you've been volunteering with us, or we become friends with you and you start volunteering, or go into our theater group and we see that you have potential and you're reliable and have talent, we might train you slowly to come into the business. But it is small, so, and we like to keep it that way. But anyway, back to the history again. We were doing this Creative Events, and of course we have to add more to it besides just DJ, photography, photo booth, and decor, and we have the linens that go with it, so you can set up an entire venue, like a gym, or, well, we've done it at a gym, or an Elks Club or VFW, whatever, and set it all up and make it look like a regular venue. But what we're missing, we're missing food. Yeah, we're not missing food because my good friend Scott, who I've known since I was 11 and he was 7, he became a caterer during this time. So about 5-6 years ago, he was a caterer, became a caterer. We helped him out with his business a little bit. And then he grew his business, we grew our business, and we decided to combine it. So you can go on that website, Creative Events, and choose caterer, DJ, a la carte, whatever you want. Or you can have the entire thing as one package under what we call the pop-up package. The pop-up party package. So you can actually do a full wedding with us. But anyway, back to the history real quick. We got a lot going on here. We decided in May of 2017, which just passed, when the lease was up on the studio, that we would just close the doors of the studio and just start doing all that we do, but those classes off-site. So we didn't really need that studio because it's a lot of cleaning and it's expensive. So what was the point of that when we were building up everything without it? So once again, you may know us as Creative Cardio, and that's totally who we are, so don't get confused. Alright, so now we just talked about Creative Events, which this blog is going to go along with. If you would like to learn more about our classes, Zumba and musical theater, you can go to the Facebook page, which is Creative Cardio Presents the Music in Motion Performing and Recording Studios for more information, or creative-cardio.com is the website. We're calling it Performing and Recording because we actually do have a little spot where we record just for fun. So if you want to look at that website, go ahead and look at that website. I'll start blogging on that one eventually, but I wanted to do this one first. So that one we can do all kinds of fun things with DJ lessons and dance lessons and all kinds of crazy stuff. But back to creative events. We do offer the pop-up party package, and you're not going to believe me, but it's true that, as you probably know, or maybe you don't know, the average wedding in New Jersey, according to my online research, is currently $35,000 for one wedding, which is totally insane. And when I talk to people personally, they'll tell me, well, my sister or my friend had a wedding and it was $48,000. So that might not even be the real average, but it's really expensive. We have gotten the entire wedding, and when I say the entire wedding, this isn't like, oh, you're just leaving things out. No, $10,000 or below, depending on, it's up to you what kind of dress you want to get, but that includes that. Now, I don't sew the dresses, and, I think Michael probably could, because I think he was a seamstress at one point, too. But he could sew, I don't think anyone's going to be sewing dresses. So, you'll have to get your own dress. There's a couple things you'll have to get for yourself. Like, we don't do specialty wedding cakes. Scott just makes regular desserts and cakes. So, if you want to have your regular wedding cake, go get that. Depends on what you want to do in your budget to buy that cake or to buy that dress. But pretty much everything else, we can do the entire wedding without you using anybody else. Just go get a dress somewhere. You can get them pretty cheaply online, probably. But anyway, we'll go over more of that stuff later when we get into to more blogging and all that. But okay, so how do we do this pop-up party? Well, and why did we decide to do this? Well, as a DJ, we're at venues a lot, obviously, and we do a lot of weddings. And we can see what goes on. And we have realized over the years that the DJ takes on a lot of responsibility at a wedding. So we're basically controlling these weddings in the first place. So that's one thing. Secondly, we do put on plays. And plays are extremely, extremely difficult. Because we do the entire thing. Obviously the sound and the lighting. We do the videography. We do we have to set up the tables for check-ins, the tables for snacks. We've even brought, I'll go over that later. We've done all kinds of crazy things. And plus you got kids, and we're always in the play, and we're directing the play, and we're doing everything. So that's like the hardest thing we ever do. So when someone says to me, well, how are you able to do weddings? Or, are you kidding me? We can do the play. We can do anything. So yes, the weddings that we do are a lot of work, but they are doable because we're used to putting on really huge events flawlessly. We are not doing it by ourselves. We do have help from our family and friends and our musical theater crew, which sometimes goes by the creative cardio crew or the performance crew, and they are a group of volunteer adults and teens that are really, 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 really important to us, and we love them. And they will help out with a lot of the things that we do. They'll even help out with marketing. You'll probably see them in some of these videos at some point. But if you do a wedding with us, a pop-up wedding, the full package, they will be at your wedding, and they will help set up and clean up and anything else that we need them to do. My mother helps out. She does a lot of the centerpieces and favors, and so does my sister, etc., etc. We have people that are either related to us or almost related to us doing all these things. The one thing I forgot to mention before was that when you're having a wedding, you can't forget one other important thing. Now, what could that be? What could that be, Michael? You gotta drink, right? Well, you don't have to drink, but if you want to drink, you can add on the pop-up light up bar, which I knew that Michael could build. So if your venue doesn't already have a bar set up there, you can have us come bring this little pretty light up bar. It lights up and goes with the rest of your decor. And who's gonna bartend? Not us, but we have certified, insured, experienced, with tons of reviews all over Thumbtack. But Thumbtack won't let us get to it unless you go on Thumbtack, so we can't show them to you. But his name is David Wilkins, and he's actually Scott's really good friend. And Scott's had been doing a lot of gigs with him over the years as a caterer. So he brought him into the company, and when I started meeting with him and working with him, I realized that he's a good fit for the company. So he's got a lot of fun drinks, and we're going to show some of them to you at some point, especially when we get into the Halloween blogs and all that and things like that. So that's exciting. But, so like I said, all of this goes under $10,000. don't need a liquor license to serve alcohol. We can get into that later on too, but you don't. $10,000, you could have everything, and you can still have your dress for that and everything else. We have. How do we really do this that cheaply? Like I said, we will get into that later on. Just stay tuned with us. Stay tuned to our Facebook page, Music in Motion Presents Creative Events, and this blog site to find out more details on how and why we do what we do. Thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll see you soon.